Welcome to Authentically You Podcast, the podcast that dives deep into a transformative journey of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and self-expression. I'm your host, Kirsty Hankin, and I'm here to guide you on a path towards embracing your true, unapologetic, authentic self. In this podcast, we'll embark on a quest to uncover the secrets to breaking free from societal expectations, shredding the masks we wear, and stepping into our own power. Each episode will explore the questions and challenges that our listeners face on their personal journeys, providing practical insights and heartfelt advice. But it doesn't stop there. Authentically You Podcast goes beyond just answering your questions. We're here to introduce you to a diverse lineup of incredibly knowledgeable professionals who will share their expertise, wisdom, and experiences. We'll bring you thought-provoking interviews that will inspire and empower you. This is Authentically You Podcast, unleashing life on your own terms. I'm Kirsty Hankin, and together, let's unlock the power within and live life authentically. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. We're in this together. Hello, and welcome to Authentically You Podcast. I'm Kirsty, Impact Coach, and we are here today with the incredible Helen, and she is going to introduce herself. So Helen, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Kirsty, for having me here. So hi, everyone. My name is Helen. I am based in New York City, and I am a content creator focused on fashion, lifestyle, and wellness/spirituality. This year, I decided to share my gifts in spreading spiritual knowledge and healing guidances to my community, in hopes that we can all learn about the truth and find healing through our journey. I have been reading tarot professionally and learning the esoteric and occult teachings for under 2 years, and my practice plus learning continues to evolve and grow. I hope my content brings guidance and knowledge to many souls out there that are ready to learn, expand their consciousness, and understanding of our world. So excited to be here.
Oh, thank you so much, Helen. That sounds incredible. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you've got to where you are now?
Yes, so I went through a spiritual awakening 2 years ago, and ever since then, I felt this calling and this passion of helping other souls out there. I always enjoyed helping people, and no matter what kind of job or task it was, I always liked communicating and helping others. And from there, as I started to become more spiritual and learning and researching from other creators and doing my own research online, I began to felt this calling and this pull to, spread knowledge, share knowledge, because I feel that we need that as a society. There's so many beautiful healers and intuitive workers out there, and we all have the birthright to share these things with anyone that is aligned and interested. And so that's why I really enjoyed creating content this year focused on spirituality and wellness, and also sharing my services to those that are interested as well.
That's incredible. I'm really excited to have you here. How did you know you were going through your awakening? I've had lots of people ask that question to me. How do you know when you're going through an awakening?
Yeah, so an awakening is different for everyone. We have our own spiritual path, and there's no right or wrong answer. And do not even push yourself to go through that awakening, because it should come naturally, right? So an awakening feels like you're going through the dark night of the soul, they call. It can be very, painful, or your body may be feeling so many sensations, and you could probably be having a lot of visualizations. That was how my awakening started. A lot of visualizations, synchronicities, and seeing how, a lot of suppressions have been inside of me from my ancestral, wounds, and also inner child wound. And that's where, with the spiritual awakening, I had to do a lot of shadow work inner child and ancestral healing for myself, and also meditation helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm. For the viewers that don't, what I believe our viewers are, they're sort of the beginning of spirituality. Some will be advanced, some won't. Could you explain what shadow work is and what what did you say?
Inner child.
Inner child work is? Mine went
Yeah,
blank.
shadow work is basically your past wounds or your healing from your ego. We all have an ego, and those are also lessons to our path. So shadow work is not meant to be all cupcakes and rainbows. It's not meant to be glorified, but more so as a way that's healing our own inner path. And it's a continuous journey. Healing is always continuing in our life. And so that's where, shadow work is always evolving within our different stages of life. And if you want to tap into your shadow work to heal that old wound, it's great to do shadow work prompts, journaling, and also connecting with yourself. And inner child is more about healing your childhood wounds that could be patterns shown through your past life, through your ancestral lineage, through things that you have suppressed when you were younger, let's say 6, 7 years, 8 years old. And now that you are an adult, you're experiencing this kind of revelation, this kind of calling that you've suppressed for so long, and it's time that you heal from it.
How do you know when you need to do that work?
Yeah, that's a great question because it really depends on your journey. Because if you see that you are avoiding and you're not healing yourself, it's not gonna help you in building relationships or even healing yourself from it. It's like you're not being responsible for your actions. And I think when it comes to healing yourself, it usually can come from a profound memory or something that happened recently. And you're starting to see patterns from it. And that's where maybe it's time that you look into your own healing journey.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. Everyone's sort of stuck. Well, not everyone. I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people that are looking for help are people that just don't know where to start. They know
Yeah.
there's something not quite right. They have and they don't even realize that they've got traumas that they haven't dealt with in the past. They probably just like, what are you talking about dramas? Like,
Yeah.
but there's these society expectations as well. So it puts a barrier up for people that aren't really knowing where to go, but the social expectations are, you're fine, don't worry, keep moving. When we really need to take a look at inside of us and what is stopping us from becoming our greatness, being fulfilled and happy, and really taking awareness of ourselves. It's about really looking at ourselves and making sure that we are good, because if we're good, everything around us starts to blossom, is a great word that I've just made up, blossom around us, and things start really happening and changing and manifesting, and that's when you start feeling fulfilled and happy and feel like you're on the right path, and it just feels incredible, right?
100%. I think we as a society have held this kind of like mainstream idea that we need to be this way, right? But we don't. And that's where, there's something called the matrix system. And it's like we're living in this bubble, in this game that we need to be controlled by people. We need to act in a certain way, but we don't. It's all starts with inner journey healing. 100%, Kirsty.
I love that. I love that. How do we get more people to realize that they need to start on their own little journey? How do we do it?
Oh,
How do we do it?
Oh, I wish this was such a simple answer, but it's like it's up to you whether or not you're really ready to heal. I believe in free will. So let me ask you, Kirsty, are you ready to heal in your journey, or do you want to stay where you are? If you think about the Matrix, the movie, the red and blue pill, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. And if you're ready, you will really tap into that consciousness, the universe's energy, and just like the gift that you have for within yourself.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that answer, Helen. That is beautiful. I've had some clients where they're like, I'm totally ready. I'm ready. Let's do this. And they start, and then they're like, oh, no, I don't like that. And I don't like that. But like you
Yeah.
said earlier, it's a hard journey. There's some beautiful things, but there's some hard things to work through, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you've seen with your, and your coaching, and it's tough. It's like some clients are ready and some are not.
Yeah. And what I teach is when you come to that resistance where you're like, yeah, this is a little bit too hard, I teach what I've been learned is it's called the terror barrier, where it's just your mind and everything conflicting because they're like, oh, you want this new thing, but what about this comfortable old way that we do things? This is really cool, but the new way is good. So it's just your mind sort of having a fight with itself, going, I don't know what you want. What do you want to do? You want this or do you want that? But as soon as you make a decision to keep moving forward, you smash through that terror barrier and you become to like freedom, and you're like, ah, and you realize that that little past experience was actually not that big of a deal. It
Yeah,
wasn't that hard to jump through it, but the terror barrier and the conflicting arguments you sort of have with yourself internally put that in your mind. So just keep moving forward, smash through that terror barrier, and you can become into that freedom space, and then you can move on to the next chapter in your
right.
journey, right?
Yeah, I think it's also about letting go. You also talked about manifesting what you want, you also have to let it go, to trust and believe that it's here right now. It's not focusing so much on the past or the future, but also on your present self.
I love that too. And just believing. I find
Yeah.
even now sometimes I catch myself not believing something that's happening, and I'm like, oh, how, why? But there's no point asking those questions. Just let it be, right?
Yeah, just let it be.
Let it be and enjoy it, right? Enjoy it, let it
Yeah.
be, and trust that it is moving towards you, moving towards greatness and positivity and the good stuff.
Yeah.
So how can individuals break free from societal expectations and embrace their authentic selves without fear of judgment and rejection?
Yeah, I think, I feel like that's a question you have to ask yourself. Reflect on a question that you ask on: how can I break free from the system? How can I release myself from society's expectations? Or how can I just be free in general? It really is to dive deep into your subconscious, because what we spoke before about believing that you can do this, you can. We all can. I think that's why we're here talking about this, to spread knowledge and to spread guidance that this is possible, and not being afraid of it, because I can see that there's hesitations and we all have these doubts, anxieties, and fears, but those are just bringing it down, and in a constant state of like a low vibrational energy. It's just not something that you want that in your life. It's all about balance and trusting that you can do this.
Absolutely. And when you're feeling like you're being judged or you're feeling rejected, yes, that's your inside self, but it's also, do you feel like sometimes you need it, it might be an environmental change that you need, like releasing some people in your life? Have you had that
Yeah.
experience?
Yeah, I think more so I tend to feel a lot of people's energy. So I can see that if that person doesn't seem right to me, or their energy that seems a bit off, I don't want to be around that person. Even like, that could be for coworkers, friends, and dating. This could be great for dating. If like you're meeting a woman or a man for the first time and you feel something off, then run.
Yeah,
Because like I feel that our body, especially our feelings and senses, there are like responses to seeing the triggers that happen around us.
absolutely. And I find that the people that hang on to those or give those people a chance are the ones that aren't actually listening to themselves, or they're sort of in a desperate need for something that they don't actually need, but they're desperate for it, like especially love, hanging on to the not so great person on the first date, or thinking, oh, I'll move that red flag away because that could change, right?
Yes.
When really, like you said, we need to be listening to ourselves. Like that gut feeling is our intuition,
Yes.
and it's telling us something, so we need to listen.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. And also, like, those people also aren't healed. They haven't done their healing work. That's why it's like a lot of trauma and shame that coming and projecting through them. And that's where, if you and I sense something like that from someone, then it's like our body's responses, our intuition telling us to, run away.
Absolutely. And for those people that are hesitant, they can sort of look at people like ourselves that are probably ahead of them in the journey, and know that if we can do it, if someone else can do it, they can absolutely do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's for everyone. This is not like secret, or this is nothing new too. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's on social media. It's found through research. And I also see that spirituality and science is bringing a lot of facts, a lot of, commonalities too.
Yeah. So if someone wants to sort of start on their journey, where would you suggest that for social media? What would they need to surround themselves with to keep on the right path and not get distracted by their social expectations?
Yeah, I would surround yourself, with the right people that you feel that are good for you, that are listening, supportive, and also find the research that you think it's right, that you are willing to learn. Because when I went through my awakening, I was doing a lot of research. I was also inspired by social media, by TikTok and Instagram. That's how it helped me awaken. And yeah, don't be afraid to learn, because there are so many great creators out there. There are great podcasts too to just hear out and listen. And yeah, I think it's all about your choice to do it or not, because it depends on how you feel you want to do, how you feel you want to do through this healing journey.
Another thing that comes to mind is when you are caught up with, social media, and you may be looking for influences on this spiritual journey, but it's easy to sort of lose touch of yourself as well, even though you're trying to be and get to your authentic self. You can sort of lose yourself because you want to be like these people, and they're doing this.
Yes.
So I should do this. What advice can you offer to help individuals reconnect with their authentic identities?
Yes, you are on your own journey. But yeah, we do have social media. Like, I myself also use social media, and I'm sharing this knowledge and content for everyone. But don't be them. You are not them, and they are not you. You are on your own path. And when you feel ready and to share, to learn, and definitely, you can be more open to creating content, because I believe we're all creators. Everyone's on social media this day. And also the most important thing is, like, to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the media that you're consuming, because social media is not reality. You have to think of, like, your present moment. That is your reality. That is what you are working for yourself.
I like that. Yes, it is really important. I know that I have been caught up in the past. Like I started my spiritual journey. I've been spiritual my whole life because my mum was very spiritual, but then she sort of fell off the spiritual wagon for a bit, and I've just sort of picked it back up over the last 5 years, I would say, really intently. And I'm still going through changes. I think, like you said, you're always learning. I was trying to pull everything from everyone and going, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. But it didn't work for me. And that's because that's them and I'm me and I need to do my own things. So what I do now is I actually connect in with my spirit team. So I ask for my ancestors to connect in, or my spirit guides, or the council, and I ask, is this the right thing for me? Or I'll ask specific questions and do journaling, which you mentioned before, and I'll get the answers. I'm like, yes, this is the right journey for me. This is the right way to take it. Or I'll get an answer of, this is the brilliant way of doing things, but do it your own way. I'm like, okay. Then I'll have to think about how that can work for me and how I'm doing things. So it is about taking what you like from everyone, isn't it? And then making it your own, making it so it works for you spiritually, right?
Yeah, 100%. You just mentioned that story, and I was thinking about my journey too, because I found, like, through TikTok, I was seeing so many tarot content. And so that's where I was like getting, oh, I want to do tarot, I want to do astrology. And I learned, I've always been interested in astrology when I was younger, but tarot, it's very fascinating, and that's where I dive deep into. And yeah, I now do tarot on social media because from TikTok, but I incorporate in my own ways. Like you said, I just don't, share the content on tarot, but I also share content on esoteric and occult teachings, like the chakra system, manifestation, meditations, talking about the demons or angels, these kinds of stuff. But yeah, I think if you are interested in creating content from your spiritual journey, go for it. It's but use it your own perspective and to bring this uniqueness to you, because it's everywhere. And the most important question to ask is, what makes you unique from others? What content can you expand on that others have also spoke about it?
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Making it your own is so important. Vulnerability. This can be a powerful tool in self-discovery, but it can also be scary
Yes.
to open up, right? So how can individuals safely and courageously explore their vulnerabilities on their journey?
Yes, this is something I also struggle with, vulnerability. It's also part of a wound that I had in my, you know, inner child and also ancestral lineage, because with your ancestral wounds, it passes on through you. It's in your
Mhm.
DNA. So yeah, this is something I'm still learning and discovering about myself. But what helped me is to connect with my ancestors, connect with my spirit team,
Yeah.
and also take time to meditate, to reflect on yourself, and just sit down in the present moment. You don't need to do meditation. Meditation may not be for everyone, but the most important thing is just to sit down with yourself. That could be through writing, through just sitting and thinking about in an open space, taking walks on nature. Whatever works for you is just a moment for yourself to ask, how can I be more vulnerable with this person? How can I be more open with my mom, my parents?
Yeah.
It's a learning journey. It's like I'm still learning, so it's hard for me to say this too.
Yeah. For me, vulnerability is been with me probably my whole life. I'm very open, and I had how long ago was it? Maybe about 12 years ago, my sister's fiance passed away, and I did CPR, which felt like centuries, but he didn't make it. And I had the feeling the whole time that I was doing CPR that he was going to make it. And it really threw me afterwards for a while, spiritually, that I was being told or feeling that he was going to make it, and he didn't. So for a while there, I was lost. But since that time, I have been so vulnerable, so open with people, so transparent, that it brings a lot more connection with people. If you
Mm-hmm.
are vulnerable, I've noticed that people sort of connect with you quicker and faster, and sort of have a feeling of, oh wow, she's really opening up, and I feel safe. I guess a good word is safe around her, because she is being vulnerable, and people are vulnerable back, which is great for me being a coach, being able to draw that out of people. But there's still times where I'm like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Or there's some times where I'm like, actually, no, I can't. So I'm still learning. And again, we're still all learning all the time, right, Helen?
Yeah.
So even
Yeah.
if we
And
think
the
we're
thing is,
really good at something, there'll be a time
yes.
when we get like, hang on a second, hold up. And we have to sort of look back and go, okay, what's the lesson to learn from this little snippet of time where I'm not being vulnerable?
Yeah, it's our own spiritual path, like you said. And the thing about vulnerability is also you becoming authentic to not only yourself, but to other people, right? So I agree. When you're vulnerable, when I'm vulnerable with the right people, they are also vulnerable back. I think that's why I like it. It's beautiful and it's also a lesson too.
Absolutely. And like you said, that around the right people, if you learn to be vulnerable around other people, and if they don't take it well, that's not on you. That's their not problem, but they haven't dealt with some issues. So
That's true.
when you are vulnerable and you don't get a really good response, it's hard to not take it personal. So you need to learn to go, okay, that's not me, it's them, I'm fine, I'm vulnerable, it's okay. Again, the journey. Isn't
Yeah.
it a wonderful journey?
I know it's lots of ups and downs, but it's a good challenge. It's like appreciating the progress and not the outcome.
Oh, I love that. Yes, the progress, because like we said, it's continually learning, isn't it? And it's so
Yeah.
fascinating, the things that you get and you're like, oh, I've got this down packed, and then you'll learn something new, and it's just such an incredible journey. I want more people on this journey with us, Helen. We
I
will.
know.
It's just
Yeah.
magic happens, isn't it? Essentially, I like to call it
Yes.
magic. Magic happens
Yes.
on being your true authentic self, when you are on your path, I guess, the right path. Magic happens, things start coming into your life. It's just an incredible space to be in.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, so I've got some funny questions for you. Well, just a couple. If authenticity was a color, what color would it be and why?
I love the color blue because blue is also my favorite color because it's a color of healing. And also I like to be near the ocean. So the ocean, anything that's water, it heals me. It's just like, when I travel and I see an ocean, I need to be there.
Beautiful. So what does the ocean do for you? What is it the same with like when you have a shower and stuff? Water in
Yeah,
general?
because actually water, it cleanses you, it cleanses the energy and the impurities that you have gained for the day. It's a really good way to appreciate water. And there's also something called Water is Healing. It's by Dr. Emoto Masaru that did a study how water helps us heal, how water has vibrational energy, of course, because it's alive. And if you say thank you to water, it forms a beautiful crystal shape. And if you say, I hate you, it forms a really bad shape. So there's like energies flowing through water. And it's a really interesting research study that you guys can listen and find out. It's online too. So yeah, something about water is really healing to me.
I know, every time that I'm near water, I'm getting called right now to, not right this second, but in general to move, literally pack up and move to live closer to water. Every time that I'm in the shower, I get downloads. I get lots of information.
Yeah.
For those that don't know what downloads is, it's ideas and opportunities and things that come through. Always in the shower. It's my favorite place to be when I need some inspiration. I'll go have a shower and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think about that sooner? It's a great place. Do you ever get that, or is it just me?
I get downloads from doing mundane things like just like cooking, cleaning. Sometimes even my content ideas to share online, it comes through just doing daily things. It's not through creating content. It just uh
Yeah. See, different things for different people, different journeys. Everyone is different.
yeah. Yes.
If you could be an animal to express your true self, which animal would you choose and how does it represent you?
Oh, never thought of this. Mm, so many animals. I'm like thinking of what animals are out there now.
Okay, clear the mind, Helen. What's the first animal that comes into your head?
Okay, the first one comes as cat. It's like so general. I feel like cats are quite mysterious and they just, do random things, exploring. Like I'm just imagining cat exploring the house, questioning everything.
Yeah.
And also just, yeah, and also just, just like being there,
Yep.
taking over the presence. Yeah.
And cats, I think, I don't particularly like cats only because I'm allergic. Only because I'm allergic to them. But they're very powerful, mysterious creatures, aren't they? They're sort of in control no matter what. They're always in control.
Yeah,
They land on their
they're
feet.
very present.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So tell us, you have a wonderful offer for our listeners. Do you want to tell us all about it?
Yeah, so I offer free tarot readings that are live on that I go live on TikTok and Instagram. What this means that, when I go live on Instagram or TikTok, I like to do free tarot readings for my community to just learn a bit about tarot, a bit about my service, and yeah, just also engage with my community.
I have a question about tarot. What's the difference between tarot and oracle cards? Or is there no?
Yeah, yeah. So tarot, it consists of 78 cards focusing on the major and minor arcana, and it's more focusing on the foundations of the tarot meanings, the symbolisms of tarot. Oracle is more of a general basis. So oracle cards, it can come from 44 to 78 cards, and there's no set of foundations of learning the cards. It's more about your intuition. Unlike tarot, it's best that you learn the foundations, but also utilizing your own intuition.
Brilliant. Okay. And what? Oh, I had another question. No, it's gone. What is? Do you have anything else to offer? Was it just? Have you haven't got any
Yeah,
programs or anything that you've got that people might be interested to work with you?
yeah. So aside from doing free tarot readings, I also have a one-on-one tarot questions that anyone can ask. And also I offer spiritual coaching that, focuses on not just tarot, but the symbolisms of our world. That includes esoteric, occult knowledge, psychic gifts, meditation, manifestations, any question that you have about your spiritual path, you're welcome to, book a coaching session or just to learn more about it.
Brilliant. That's awesome, Helen. Thank you. And do you have any sort of last message that you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, your spiritual journey is not going to be easy. It's a lot of lessons that you learn from your past life and your current life. And don't rush or force yourself to be in that journey just because it's become so mainstream. It's all over social media, and you don't need to be that person, that influencer. You are your own journey, you are your own creator, and you will see this progress come through when you are feel called, when it's divine timing. So thank you for listening, and yeah, I hope to connect with you soon.
Thank you so much, Helen. And it's been absolutely amazing and wonderful to talk to you, full of insight and amazing knowledge. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I will put all of your details into the show notes. And if anyone wants to get in touch with Helen, you go ahead and do so. And we'll see you next time. Mwah! Thanks, Helen. Bye.
Bye.
Thank Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Authentically You Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and gained some valuable insights. If you'd like to stay connected with us, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform and follow us on social media. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Kirsty Impact Coach, or Become Authentically You on the Facebook group. We'd love to hear your thoughts, feedback, and ideas for future episodes. Feel free to drop us a message or leave a review. Your input means the world to us as we continue to grow and improve. Remember, living authentically is a journey, and we're so glad and grateful to have you with us on this path of self-discovery and personal growth. Until next time, always remember to be true to yourself, embrace your uniqueness, and live life unapologetically, because you are truly remarkable just the way you are. This is Kirsty, signing off on the Authentically You podcast. Take care and keep shining bright.